The film opens with a series of slow-motion living paintings. These dreamlike visions rise from Justine's subconscious and foreshadow the inevitable destruction of the world. This awareness of an unavoidable end is the heavy weight Justine carries throughout the film. In the first shot, we see Justine with her eyes closed, like Leo at the end of the film. She is inside a safe space, a kind of magical cave. As she opens her eyes, she enters the melancholic world, a world filled with chaos, where birds fall in the background, recalling Justine's line that the earth is full of evil. This image, much like the falling frogs in Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia, carries a biblical reference to the Gospel of John and presents an apocalyptic vision of the cruelty and evil inherent in the world. In the next shot, we see a garden where a wedding ceremony has taken place. A garden reminiscent of the Garden of Eden and also recalling last year at Marienbad Film. The garden feels eerie and dreamlike, with shadows cast in opposite directions, as if two suns are shining over it. The golf course is an artificial, engineered environment, resembling a greenhouse where nature is under human control. Claire is trying to escape, but the golf course beneath her feet behaves like a swamp. The flag shows hole number 19, while John had previously said the course has 18 holes. It seems that Melancholia, like a ball, is heading toward the 19th hole, essentially the earth itself. Von Trier mentioned in an interview that the idea of the golf course was inspired by Antonioni's film, The Night. To understand this shot, we need to recall the scene where Justin and Claire go horseback riding. As they try to cross a bridge, Justin's horse refuses to move. Justin strikes the horse to force it forward, but it stays still. It seems that Justin is trapped in his own melancholic mental world and cannot cross the bridge. When he strikes the horse, the planet Melancholia appears in the sky for the first time, as if taking revenge, since it is seen immediately after the horse is hit. In this frame, we see Justin standing among a swarm of butterflies, his arms spread like butterfly wings, ready to take flight. Here, Claire has a prophet-like presence, as if she has released the butterflies. It seems that for Von Trier, this represents the inevitable end of the world as a kind of collective liberation for humanity. When Melancholia approaches, the electricity and everything that symbolizes the order of the modern world stops working. The electricity flowing from Justin's fingertips shows his otherworldly insight, a moment where logical, rational laws no longer apply and a unique awareness flows through him. Here Justin is moving while roots wrap around him, blocking his way. At one point in the film, Justin says, "I feel heavy," clearly referring to these roots. They serve as a metaphor for the invisible cords of the new world, a world that has even bound nature itself. In addition to numerous cinematic references, the film also contains multiple references to paintings. In one scene, Justin replaces a painting by Malevich, which consists of mathematical and geometric shapes with no connection to the real human world. With Bruegel's Hunters in the Snow, a painting that explores the relationship between humans and nature, a connection lost in the modern world, as emphasized by the opening of the film, where this painting is shown burning. Another referenced painting is Ophelia by John Everett Millais, which inspired the scene of Justin lying dead in her wedding dress in the river. Like Justin, Ophelia is consumed by deep madness and grief. Before analyzing the film, we first need to understand what melancholia is and whether it is the same as depression. Although there are some similarities, melancholia is different from depression. Freud explains in his essay Mourning and Melancholia that depression occurs when a person cannot reach their desires or goals in the outside world. As a result, the world becomes meaningless for them, though they still have a sense of self-worth. Melancholia, however, originates within the person. In this state, the individual feels worthless and empty, struggling with a sense of inner void and self-deprecation. For this reason, depression can be overcome and treated because its cause lies outside the person and one can move through it with mourning. In Melancholia, however, the problem comes from within, and treatment is nearly impossible. Melancholia, the second film in Lars von Trier's Depression trilogy, is divided into two main parts, Justin and Claire. In the first half, Melancholia exists as a mental, internal state, while in the second half, it takes on an external physical form, a planet moving toward Earth, destined to collide with it. This shift represents a movement from the inner world to the outer. And the second half of the film shows us what happens inside the minds of those affected by melancholia. The film suggests that melancholia is a universal condition present in every human being, though often suppressed. In the first half, Justin is cut off from the world and reality due to melancholia. But in the second half, her condition gradually improves. This final improvement is a kind of return. Despite her wealthy, aristocratic life, these things hold no meaning or importance for Justin. She suffers from an unknown, deep loss. In psychoanalysis, the early loss of the mother is considered one of the main factors in the development of melancholia. When a child has not yet matured and has not established an independent self, they see themselves as one with the mother. If the mother leaves or distances herself in any way, the child feels that a part of themselves has been lost, creating a sense of emptiness. In adulthood, this emptiness manifests as melancholia, and according to Julia Kristeva, the only way to address it is a kind of return to the mother's womb. The film is a critique of modern scientific thinking, a critique of humanity's attempt to dominate nature and the illusion that technology can tame and control it. In reality, modern humans are trapped in this illusion, and no science can overcome the inner emptiness and lack within a person. In this film, Justin is not the one who is ill. Rather, those who live under the illusion of trusting science and controlling nature are blind and unwell. John, who represents the height of faith in science, ultimately takes his own life. His advanced tools and telescopes prove less effective than a simple, primitive device. When melancholia approaches, electricity fails, machines stop working, and everything that symbolizes modern technological life becomes useless. The film Melancholia depicts the hidden evil of nature as an apocalyptic uprising. Unlike Claire, Justine does not flee. She chooses to stay and face the event. Melancholia is not just an individual condition, but a collective one that all humans are caught in. The film's central question is whether humans have the courage to confront this emptiness and nothingness. The film advocates a melancholic understanding of the world, one based on rupture, that must be acknowledged, as it can free us from a hollow, materialistic, and calculating world. Melancholia is the nightmare of the modern world, a world that believes it knows everything, that everything is in its proper place, and that nature is under control. A world that thinks it can suppress anything unpleasant or different so that everything appears beautiful and orderly on the surface. Yet the film shows that beneath this facade, a barrier always exists that can collapse at any moment. Thanks for watching the video.